G'day, ZiggyD here with a couple pieces of Path of Exile news for you guys today. The first thing is that I want to encourage you guys to stop using PoEEX.info. So the reason for this is the other day the owner announced that he was selling the site and that he'd had enough of the pressures that came along with running a currency exchange site for Path of Exile, and I sort of understand that. However, I'm very sure that the site is now owned by an RMT site. There's three reasons for this. The first one's pretty obvious. We can see a RMT advertisement banner right on the right hand side there. The second reason is that the owner said that he got a fairly sizable sum of money for it, so I would imagine someone with the financial reason to pay a lot of money for such a site would be an RMT seller. And the third reason is it just makes sense. It's the most trafficked currency related Path of Exile site. It shows up in currency searches and people on here are interested in getting currency, so it just makes sense for them to own it and to have it be an excellent advertising channel for them. So that's a shame because the site was pretty useful. A lot of people know about it, and I want to encourage you guys, instead of showing off, linking people to POEEX when they're asking about exchange rates, I want to start encouraging you guys to link to EXILEEXcom/EX. So out of the ashes of POEEX, Exile Stats has said, that's it. We're tired of all this. We want to give you guys a currency tool that is open and clear. It has a clear voting system, it isn't controlled by us, and it will never have any advertisements on it. Now, I personally don't have a problem with normal advertisements, but specifically being owned by an RMT site and only having RMT advertisements on a currency calculator thing is a little bit shifty, I think. So this URL is a little bit harder to remember than PoEEX.info. But EXILEStats.com is a very excellent site. You guys have probably seen it if you've been following any of the races. As you can see here, it has all of the good details for the races, and we've used it before for that sort of thing. And now they've got this tool, which I think is really excellent. And the owner says that they're also thinking about adding a second side to this for hardcore exchange rates, which will be excellent. And that was something POEEX didn't cover. Something else that POEEX didn't have was a voting system like this. So basically, you can click on any of the exchange rates here. So I want to click on Chaos to Jewelazorb for some reason, and you can you can have your vote on how much you think those are worth to each other. They're going to keep adjusting this and making sure it works. This is like the first day it's been released, but so far it looks really good. And I have to say, it's actually easier to use than POEEX ever was. It's much easier to find the thing that you want. GCP for fusings and all that sort of jazz. It's very nice and clear. I quite like the layout of it. So again, I want to encourage you guys to use this site instead because it's reputable and it's not owned by an RMT site. And I want to encourage you guys, anyone talking about POEEX, to tell them instead to use Exile Stats, and maybe to tell them why, because POEEX is something that's just like in the common psyche of people, of Path of Exile players at the moment. And it'll take a little while for people to change over and realize, some people will probably see the site and see the massive banner on the site and will realize something's up and maybe will seek for some information. But a lot of people won't realize for a long time. So try and do what you can to fix that, if you care about such things. So the last piece of news is on a bit of a brighter note. We have a teaser picture, screenshot for 0.10.4 patch. So there's two things in this teaser picture that show us, some interesting things to look forward to. The first one was the Book of Skill. I freaked out seeing this. I'm like, are they adding a new quest that gives you a skill point? Are they, are they making skill points drop in the game? I was freaking out about that. But it turns out it's just the way that they're giving the quest reward points now. So I kind of like it. It's a lot like Diablo 2, where you got the, the book that gave you a passive point and skill point, things like that. And it makes more sense for newer players. They finish this quest and they get this item in their inventory that says, for that quest you get this skill point. Click this and you get a skill point. Seems more rewarding and it seems more, direct. It makes the game a bit more understandable. So I think that's a pretty cool change, but nothing really too major. The other one, obviously, is this new skill teaser here. So some of you guys might recognize this as Ice Shield from Act 3 that some of the mobs use. It's a little bit different, but essentially functioning the same way. They said they originally designed it as a player skill, but that it was too OP, so they had to take some time to rebalance it, and they just left it on the mobs for a while in a sort of a different form. But now, next patch, apparently they feel like they've balanced it well enough to release it now. and it's coming out. So we don't know too much about it other than that it's probably going to increase your armor somewhat or provide an on-hit effect. So when enemies hit you, they either get chilled or frozen. And then you also have this slowing, chilling ground sort of effect behind you. So that's pretty interesting. Be interesting to see Cyclone builds using this and using the slow effect and freezing mobs and things like that. But it seems like it's a skill that could have a lot of nice synergies. Something else, I don't know if this is like a mistake or what, but I don't see any mana reservations. So if it's an aura, it functions differently to all other auras. I don't see... Is there? Oh no, it looks like there might be a mana reservation bit there. It's just very dark. I can't quite tell. Maybe you guys can see that. I'll put a link to this picture in the description below for you guys. But anyway, pretty interesting teaser and pretty interesting news about EXILEStats.com/EX. Just to really drill that in there. It's the site I'll be bookmarking and the site I'll be using from now on. It's the site I'll be recommending. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.